Why the US is terrified of Chinese electric cars? As the electric vehicle EV revolution gathers momentum worldwide, the United States finds itself in a precarious position regarding its response to the rise of Chinese electric cars. A growing number of American manufacturers are concerned about the effects of China's rise to prominence in the EV market. A number of variables, such as aggressive pricing methods, significant government assistance for Chinese manufacturers, and quick developments in battery technology that have put China at the forefront of innovation, pose a threat to U.S. automakers. Furthermore, worries about cybersecurity threats and theft of intellectual property linked to cars manufactured abroad only make legislators and American consumers feel more uneasy. The conventional dominance of the major American automakers is being challenged by the rising popularity of Chinese electric vehicles, especially among buyers on a tight budget. These foreign brands are posing a danger to national interests in energy independence and economic security, as well as the profitability of American businesses as they gain market share. Given this complicated situation, it is imperative to investigate the fundamental causes of American trepidation towards Chinese electric cars and consider the implications for transportation, technology, and global competitiveness. The decisions taken today will have a lasting impact on the automobile sector, and the stakes are quite high. Quick progress in technology. It's astounding how quickly Chinese automakers have progressed with EV technology. In the global EV market, companies like BYD, NIO, and XPeng have swiftly become leaders thanks to their development of competitively priced and feature-rich vehicles. These businesses have brought forth advancements in smart networking, autonomous driving features, and battery technology that are frequently seen as superior to those provided by conventional American manufacturers. China's strategy to become the leader in high-tech industries is consistent with its concentration on electric vehicles. Innovation in the EV industry has surged as a result of the Chinese government's strong support for research and development. American automakers, which have always been considered industry leaders, are now competing to catch up. American automakers and lawmakers are increasingly concerned about losing their technological hegemony, which has resulted in more R&D spending to support their own EV offers. Bold pricing techniques. The aggressive price techniques employed by Chinese electric car manufacturers are among the most notable aspects of their rise. Chinese automakers are able to sell electric vehicles EVs at a significantly cheaper cost than their American counterparts thanks to significant government subsidies. Cost-conscious buyers find this pricing model especially appealing since it puts cost ahead of brand loyalty. The appeal of less expensive Chinese electric vehicles poses a danger to the profitability of domestic manufacturers in the United States, where electric vehicles are frequently associated with high prices. As American automakers struggle to find ways to maintain their competitiveness without cutting into their profit margins, there is a real risk of a pricing war. There have been calls for protective measures to shield American manufacturers from what many see as unfair competition as a result of the increased competitiveness, which has led to fears of job losses and factory closures in the U.S. automobile industry. Government assistance and grants. The concern held by American manufacturers is mostly a result of the Chinese government's strong support for its own EV sector. The Chinese government has cultivated an atmosphere that encourages the electric vehicle industry's rapid expansion through a variety of grants, subsidies, and low-interest loans. Chinese enterprises can quickly scale up production and make significant investments in R&D thanks to this level of support. The legislative landscape that the U.S. auto sector must contend with, however, is more dispersed. Although federal tax credits and other programs have been implemented to encourage the adoption of electric vehicles in the United States, the Chinese government's broad support for EVs surpasses these efforts. The discrepancy makes one wonder if American automakers will be competitive in the long run. There are calls for more government support and intervention in the EV industry because of the risk of not being able to compete on an even playing field. Vulnerabilities in the supply chain. The interconnection of the global supply chain creates serious risks, especially since American electric vehicle makers depend more and more on imported parts. Concerns over dependence on Chinese producers for essential components have therefore grown. Talks about reviving domestic battery manufacture and setting up regional supply chains to reduce risks have been spurred by this fear. The drive towards self-sufficiency is a reflection of larger concerns about the consequences of relying on foreign suppliers and attempts to support national security by guaranteeing a steady supply of vital components for the rapidly expanding electric car market. Theft of intellectual property. Growing worries about intellectual property theft frequently cast a shadow on discussions about Chinese electric vehicles. Despite the fact that U.S. industries have spent billions on R&D to produce innovative technology, there are growing reports of Chinese businesses stealing these ideas. Industry insiders are concerned about the security of intellectual information in light of reports of corporate espionage and cyberattacks directed at U.S. companies. The possible loss of priceless intellectual property jeopardizes American businesses' ability to make ends meet and erodes the country's standing as the world leader in automotive innovation. This apprehension is exacerbated by worries that Chinese manufacturers may use technologies acquired through illicit means to attain an unfair advantage in the quickly changing EV industry. Threats of technological superiority being lost to competitors who might not follow the same moral guidelines are a major concern for American businesses trying to stay competitive. These concerns greatly add to the larger story of worries surrounding the rise of electric automobiles made in China. Environmental issues. There are worries over the environmental effects of Chinese manufacturing processes, even though electric vehicles are frequently hailed as a more environmentally benign alternative to conventional gasoline-powered automobiles. China's fast industrialization has come at a heavy price to the environment, and this is also true of the country's battery manufacturing industry. Environmental damage and moral dilemmas may arise from the extraction of lithium, cobalt, and nickel components that are necessary for electric vehicle batteries. Its materials are frequently imported from nations with weak laws protecting the environment and labor standards. The story around the adoption of EVs is complicated by the concern that relying only on Chinese-produced vehicles may worsen environmental damage, even as the United States places a greater focus on sustainability and ethical sourcing. Tensions in geopolitics. The concerns that the United States has about Chinese electric vehicles are mostly influenced by the larger geopolitical environment. Tensions have increased due to the trade war between the United States and China, and the automobile industry is not exempt from these difficulties. Trade restrictions and tariffs may affect the cost and supply of automobiles, causing market instability. Furthermore, China's goals go beyond economics as it works to increase its influence globally through programs like the Belt and Road Initiative. The ascent of Chinese electric vehicles is perceived as a calculated move to gain market share in important industries, in addition to being a commercial rivalry. In conclusion, the United States faces a variety of opportunities and difficulties as a result of the rise of electric cars made in China. American automakers face a challenging environment as global supply chain vulnerabilities, aggressive pricing, and government assistance for Chinese manufacturers coexist with faster technical improvements and increased competition. An already competitive market is made more complex by worries about possible intellectual property theft, environmental issues, and geopolitical problems. In order to maintain its standing in the rapidly changing electric vehicle market, the United States needs to put an emphasis on innovation, make investments in homegrown supply chains, and cultivate a strong legislative environment that encourages sustainable and ethical sourcing. American automakers can remain at the forefront of automobile innovation and improve their competitiveness by confronting these issues head-on. In the end, government, business, and consumers working together will determine the fate of electric cars. The United States can make sure that it not only competes well with growing nations like China, but also sets the global standard for the next generation of electric mobility by remaining knowledgeable and aggressive. Though difficult, the path ahead holds the possibility of a more sustainable and clean automobile future. Let us know in the comments what you think about why the US is terrified of Chinese electric cars, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.